Seville Show. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend and are gearing off for a good start to your week. I know a lot of you I know some of you may have the day off for, I believe it's President's Day.
Who has this day off? Post office, banks. Who else?
Teachers.
Not all teachers.
Not all teachers.
My kid's in school.
Really?
Our kid's in school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Obviously, I don't have a kid in school.
What exactly is President's Day?
I will have to look that up. It's just been a staple in yearly federal
What's the most
holidays.
forgotten or marginalized holiday of all the holidays?
What's the most marginalized holiday?
Or forgotten. Or disrespected.
I mean, here we are talking about what the heck President's Day is.
But seriously, what's the most disrespected holiday of all the holidays? Viewers and listeners, give the show a like and a share. Like the share the show. Like the show, share the show. And is Facebook 20 years old? Facebook recently turned 20 years old. Did you know that?
I did not.
That's crazy.
That is. I think my sister started my Facebook account 12 or 13 years ago. And I think I still have the same password.
I wouldn't tell people that.
Well, it's not like they're going to guess it just because I said I've still got the same password.
Why did you start your Facebook account?
Why
So you could stay connected with the family?
No, I just said my sister started it.
No, I know. Why did she start your Facebook account? That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, probably so I could stay connected with them. I remember we were in California at my grandmother's house, and on my grandmother's computer, and my sister's like, "Hey, I'm creating a Facebook account for you." I was like, "Okay."
All right, let's rock and roll. We'll start with this topic. I want to get your take on the most disrespected holiday that's out there as well.
Okay.
I'll start the show. You have some ideas on that. I have a couple of ideas, but I'm curious of what you find. All right, let's rock and roll.
Quiet on the set.
Good Monday afternoon, guys. Thank you kindly for joining us. My name is Jerry Miller. It's a pleasure to connect with you through the I Love Seville Network on a President's Day. Did you know it was President's Day today, Judah?
I think I had seen somewhere that it was, but it didn't really penetrate until I was
Getting the mail?
getting the mail. I think even before then, I'd seen some cleared parking spaces that I was surprised to see, and then I remembered.
President's Day. Post office closed. Banks are closed. Some schools are out. Our kid's in school, our oldest. A lot we're going to cover on today's program. A couple of tidbits out of the notebook before we get to the headlines that you see on screen. Facebook just turned 20 years old. Jim Hamlet, Randy O'Neill, Kevin Yancey, hello. 20 years old for Facebook. That's bananas to me. I'll let you know why I find that like just absolutely bananas. You know, I'm curious of what your take is on Facebook turning 20 years old. Logan Wells-Kalelo, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. The draft zoning ordinance, the new zoning code starts today on President's Day. The new zoning code is something that has been in the works for years, and today is the official start of it.
Yeah.
It could lead us into topic number 4 on the headlines if you look at the screen. What's the most concerning issue facing Charlottesville right now? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We'll ask Judah Woodcower's take on that. Virginia plays Virginia Tech tonight, Blacksburg. The Hokies are a 4.5-point favorite. UVA does not want to lose this game. UVA is barely in the big dance right now. Barely in the big dance. And that victory over Wake Forest, yes, it was a victory, and I'll take any win. But when you go, 0 for 10 from the free throw line? Very concerning. Let's weave Judah Wickower in on a 2-shot. 20 years for Facebook? Remember MySpace? Who was the guy that everybody was friends with on MySpace? It was Tom, right?
I think so.
It was Tom, right?
I think so, yeah.
Did you start on MySpace or Facebook?
You know, I vaguely remember MySpace, but I don't remember having an account. I just remember, skipping around on it, checking things out.
MySpace still in operation. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Much more of a music-focused social platform now. MySpace is. 20 years for Zuckerberg's Facebook. The most influential website that's ever been?
The most influential. That's a tough call.
I mean, it's got to be either, Let's just rattle off a few. Google's got to be there.
Would you consider that a...
Because you say it's a search engine, not a website?
Yeah, more or less. But you're right, it is very influential.
Would you say Google's more influential than Facebook?
Yeah, I would say that.
You'd say yes, more influential than Facebook. Huh. All right, what else is on the list with Google and Facebook most influential? The 20-year anniversary of Facebook was earlier this month.
I'd definitely put Twitter on that list.
No.
You don't think Twitter is influential?
I do think Twitter's influential, not more influential than Facebook.
Oh, no, that's not what I was saying. I thought you were asking what other...
I'm asking what is more influential than Facebook,
Oh.
website-wise,
Besides,
app-wise.
besides Google, I mean... I kind of put Facebook and Twitter pretty close alongside each other. I think they...
I think Twitter is a far, far, far second. Not
Far
even second. Significantly behind Facebook.
Is
Here's
there a particular type of influence you're...
broad reach, appeals to the masses. Twitter's more niche. Twitter's daily active users pale in comparison to Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, Facebook is shaped dating. It's shaped social networking. It's shaped how we post food content, which is crazy. I mean, if you told us at a time 20 years ago that we would be busting out phones from our pockets and taking pictures of our food and post them online for our friends to see, 20 years ago, people would laugh at you.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you said 20 years ago we would be stalking people on social media and looking at their photos from decades ago, we would laugh at you.
Yeah.
Now Facebook is a publisher of content. I would bet more people get their news from a Facebook news feed than news platforms themselves.
It's pretty scary.
Is it not?
It's very scary.
It shows you the influence that Zuckerberg and his platform have. I mean, clearly have influenced elections. Teenage girls, teenage boys, teenage girls, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram owned by Facebook.
You think that's still the case?
What, body issues or political election influence?
No, just teenagers. I mean, I think...
I think teenagers are on Facebook's sister properties. I mean, and by we know.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Instagram, TikTok, of course, not owned by Facebook, but that's another one.
Yeah.
Snapchat is more of a communication platform than a social media platform. Snapchat more of a camera and way to communicate than a social network.
Yeah.
But it's Instagram or TikTok. YouTube. I mean, YouTube is dominating Gen Z and Gen Alpha in crippling ways for Gen Z and Gen Alpha, rotting Gen Z and Gen Alpha's brain at ways and at levels that we don't even know the magnitude of.
Yeah.
20 years for a platform that is powerful. What do you find is the most marginalized holiday? The most disrespected holiday? This being President's Day. President's Day has got to be on the short list for most disrespected holiday.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, if we're talking about you say disrespected, I would.
All right, how about I say forgotten?
Forgotten. Disrespected, I might say Juneteenth, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that disrespect it. But forgotten. I mean, President's Day is pretty high on the list. I don't know does anybody know why we even started having a President's Day?
I would imagine
reason
it's to honor presidents.
But is there really a reason for having a day off to honor presidents?
And what determines the day off? Banks and post office close?
Yeah, right.
Is that what it is?
What determines when they take off?
The market's closed.
They probably tried to space them out.
President's Day is officially Washington's birthday at the federal government level. A holiday in the United States celebrated on the third Monday of February. That's today. It's bananas. It's February 19th already. Most forgotten, disrespected holiday. Is this it?
Could be.
Right?
I would think.
I mean, what else is on there?
I mean, we've got Martin Luther King's birthday. We've got
I think MLK Day is extremely revered and
yeah, I agree. I was just naming the holidays.
The opposite of forgotten. MLK Day is championed.
Yeah, definitely. I was just listing some of the, obviously lesser known than Thanksgiving, Christmas, Memorial Day. I think Memorial Day
is not forgotten. Memorial and Labor Day have some oomph.
Yeah, and Veterans Day.
Veterans Day has some oomph.
But I think a lot of people get Veterans Day and Memorial Day mixed up.
Possibly.
We got Columbus Day.
Kevin Yancey says Arbor Day.
Arbor Day.
And he also says, is Wikipedia more influential than Facebook? Wikipedia is pretty damn influential. That's a great suggestion, Kevin Yancey.
Yeah.
I still say Facebook is more influential than Wikipedia. Really, the only website that I can see competing with Facebook from an influence is Google.
Yeah. I think Google wins that because
I think Google might win that as well.
Because it's a lot easier to search for anything on Google. Obviously, it's a search engine, but on Facebook, it seems to be,
Facebook's is a search engine. Derek Bond, the owner of Moe's and the Melting Pot, says President's Day is the birthdays of presidents.
Yeah.
We love Moe's. We love Derek Bond. It was good to see you the other day. Go ahead, Judah. You said Google trumps Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I feel like when you search for things on Facebook, it prioritizes things from people that you know, which I think diminishes, in my mind, the importance of it, as it's less balanced. I feel, and more. It's strengthened by your previous likes and friendships, and so you tend to see a lot more of the posts that kind of fit in your echo chamber.
Yeah, it's the algorithm.
Yeah.
John Blair says, "Do you guys remember Friendster?" I do remember Friendster, absolutely. Ginny Who says, "Don't you all remember in elementary school when we used to celebrate Washington and Lincoln's birthdays separately? Then you would throw in Valentine's Day, and we had 3 class holidays in February. The good old days."
We didn't take Valentine's Day off, though.
I think she alludes to the fact that Valentine's Day, while you were in class, it was almost a forgotten day.
Yeah, you were spending time cutting pink construction paper, Valentine's Day cards, and eating candy.
Did you give Valentine's to your sweethearts?
I guess, yeah.
I certainly did. I love Valentine's Day. You know what my favorite tax of them all is?
Tax?
Tax.
I'm
You know how I despise taxes. Anyone who watches the show, they realize I say this all the time. We're taxed way too much.
Yeah.
Like, how ridiculous is it that we are? I saw this on Facebook the other day. Speaking of Facebook, we're taxed on the money we earn at work. The person who's really screwed is the employer. The employer is paying taxes left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, you found out the other day that the obscene amounts of payroll taxes we're paying. We're taxed on the money we make. We're taxed on the money we pay our team members and our employees. Mm-hmm. Then once we get money from our boss or our companies that we work for, we go out and we're taxed.
On everything we use that money on.
On everything we use that money on. We tax on our houses.
Yeah.
We're taxed on our cars. Mm-hmm. We're taxed on our personal property. We're taxed on our gains.
Yep.
It might not be the redcoats are coming, but get me a squirrel cap and a horse and some lanterns, and let's rally up the troops to go riding down West Main Street.
Yelling about taxation without representation.
There you go, Judah Wickhauer. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to today's news. Today is the first day of Charlottesville's new zoning code. We're still talking about this. But it's the first day that the DZO, upzoning, the new zoning code, whatever the hell we're going to call it, is in effect. Years of going down this road. Some in this community salute this milestone. Others target practice with this hallmark. There's a group of people in the city that are suing the city over the draft zoning ordinance. More lawsuits are coming. We know that. What are we going to get out of this? Probably very little.
Yeah.
Years of effort, thousands and thousands of taxpayer dollars. It may be a granny flat or a basement apartment or an ADU in the backyard. Outside of that, the invisible hand of capitalism, undefeated. Just like the only people that have beaten Michael Jordan and LeBron James, Father Time. The only people that can supersede or push at a much faster clip than red tape from local government, Commonwealth government, national government, federal government, capitalism, the invisible hand. You got thousands of people moving to the area. They're going to drive up the cost of living.
No doubt.
We learned on Friday's show the new HUD median income per household is going to be released in April. We're both in agreement it's going to be higher than the $123,300 from 2022.
Yeah.
Time will tell. If the income continues going that fast, it doesn't matter what we do with zoning flexibility.
Yeah.
We highlighted on Friday's show 2 listings in the Lewis Mountain neighborhood. Both came to market, both over $2 million. You're not going to be able to do anything from a density standpoint at a $2 million plus clip per house,
Right.
quarter acre or below. You're just not going to. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to assemble that.
I mean, I don't even think you can subsidize affordable housing at these rates.
So that leads us to the next question. What's the most concerning issue facing Charlottesville right now? And some national media have called the upzoning that we just pushed forward, that started today officially, the most radical zoning rewrite in America. Mm-hmm. The most radical zoning rewrite in America, some media have called it. That leads me to the next question, the most concerning issue facing Charlottesville right now. I think your and I's takes may differ. I'm curious of yours on this.
I mean, I'd probably have to go with
You're going to go with the housing?
housing affordability. I think it's something that affects a wide swath of our area, and it's not going away. And I think in the coming years it's gonna hurt a lot of people.
Keep going.
I mean, that's my answer. I think the biggest problem we're facing today is housing affordability. There's very few people that I think it's not going to affect in the coming years.
I'm surprised you didn't go somewhere like living wage.
I mean, that's a big one too.
Was it all lumped in together?
In some ways, yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't go somewhere like political diversity.
I mean, I think there's some political diversity in Central Virginia, whether or not there's a whole lot of it in Charlottesville. But I think it's less. I think that's less of an issue here.
I'm surprised you didn't go somewhere like Kevin Yancey says, tax those cigarettes. We're trying to get them to cut the cigarettes. Vanessa Parko,
and we're also talking about human rights issues. I don't know that I think of politics in Charlottesville as a human rights issue that's affecting a great many people.
Vanessa Parkhill watching the program. Well, when the majority of the community asks for the government to take care of more and more of their needs and wants, the government is going to need to get that money somewhere. Since their main source of income is our tax dollars, our taxes will go up accordingly. We can't have it both ways. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, I'll say the biggest concern I have, most pressing concern I have with Charlottesville, and I'm speaking from the lens of being a father and a husband. I'm going to call it the lack of diversity that I'm seeing. It is an extremely homogenous community, and it's becoming more so every day. I find that worrisome because I would like to have our boys raised in a community that is more diverse and eclectic with its thought. And as Charlottesville and as UVA continue to become this mixed blend of one and the same, like for example, Forbes magazine just called UVA one of America's top employers. Did you guys see this? You saw that, right, Judah?
Yeah.
Forbes magazine, one of the most esteemed business publications. This is one of the lead headlines on Virginia's media arm, news.virginia.edu or UVA Today. UVA landed in the number 73 spot among 600 top-ranked U.S. employers with more than 5,000 employees, and UVA Health was ranked number 117 overall. So the university, number 73 in the nation, best large employer.
Yeah. Employing over 1,000 people.
UVA Health, number 117 in the nation. More than 5,000 people, not 1,000. 5,000 people.
You sure?
Positive. Look at that right now. So here you got a university that's getting accolades from national media yet again about being one of the best places to work. And Charlottesville's getting accolades from national media yet again about being one of the best places to live. It's just creating a silo of the same kind of people moving here. That is my biggest concern. To Judah's point, they may be one and the same.
Yeah, I think that's definitely closely tied with housing affordability and wages.
Jason Howard says, with the spike in values, is Charlottesville's future population going to be wealthy retirees, those making executive pay or higher, and students? Median income numbers don't say teacher or first responder to me. 100%.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would say it's, and I mentioned this last week. I don't even think it's the middle class that's completely getting squeezed now as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just financial margin.
No.
Heck, you can even make upper middle class as a group that's getting squeezed in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Vanessa Parkhill asked what the criteria are for best employers. You have to have more than 5,000 employees is one of the main criteria.
I believe it's 1,000. I'm looking at it too.
It says right here. Slide into Judas shot.
And I'm looking at it right there.
The university landed at 73rd spot among 600 top-ranked U.S. employers with more than 5,000 employees.
Organizations with at least 1,000 employees were surveyed, and results were broken down based on the number of workers.
How about that number? Read that one.
UVA in total employs some 30,000 people across its academic division in Charlottesville. UVA Health, UVA Physicians Group, and the college at Wise.
30,000 employees.
Yeah.
I didn't know that number. That 30 UVA in total employs 30,000 people.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about this is the results were actually compiled from from surveying the responders, surveying the employees. So it wasn't just oh, we think these are the best places to work. It was actually a survey of the people working at these large companies and their thoughts and comments on their employer.
Which is odd because the university gets attention from its employees of not being so fine and dandy.
Yeah, I would have thought that too when I was reading this, and then I saw that it was the employees were actually polled.
So is that yet another indication that like the loud, organized, vocal, very small minority is the population that's getting the attention?
Could be, or it could be they selected. I don't know. It could be selection bias and who they chose to ask about this. I'm sure they didn't survey every single last UVA employee.
Here's a great stat for you guys at a cocktail party. UVA in total employs some 30,000 people across its academic division in Charlottesville, UVA Health, UVA Physicians Group, and the college at Wise. Mm-hmm. To put that in perspective, the city of Charlottesville has a population of basically 46,000 people. So if UVA employs 30,000 people and the city of Charlottesville has a population of 46,000 people, that puts things in perspective for you.
Yeah, 2/3.
Yeah, definitely Kevin. I for sure Kevin Yancey. He says many of those are not living in Charlottesville. Yeah. Do you think the university is a good steward for Charlottesville?
Not really.
Come on. Why not really?
I don't know that I feel like they really care about Charlottesville. Do they? I mean, I know that in some regards they have to put on a good front. They have to, they have to do certain things to support.
Without UVA, there would be no Charlottesville.
That's true.
There would be no.
It would be a different landscape. I get it.
Yeah. So when it makes the argument that we're doing enough, it has legitimate legs to stand on.
You really think that that's a decent argument for just because they're you're basically saying that the fact of their existence is enough that
I think they're doing more than just exist.
I know, but that's the kind of the point that you just made, is that the fact of them existing is, you know, because of the effect that they have on the Charlottesville area, that perhaps that's enough, and they don't have to do anything more. We've talked a lot about every time they buy a building, it comes off the tax rolls.
It's true.
You know, and I just, they do a lot for the community. I don't know that, I'm not sure that most of that isn't just for appearance's sake. I could be wrong.
No, I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer on that one. I think the university could always do more, as you're saying. And then they're advocates of what the university is doing, like, hey, what else more do we need to do?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's necessarily a right answer on that.
Yeah.
30,000 is an astronomical number, though.
No doubt.
You had a couple of tidbits from the weekend that struck you.
Let's see. I mean, I had some great drinks at Southern Crescent.
Oh, you went to Southern Crescent this weekend. Tell me about that.
That was nice. They've got a great little patio. I mean,
Oh, it's fantastic. It's
really
in Belmont.
Really reminded me of the Savannah area.
I knew you were going to bring
knew
up
I was gonna
Savannah.
Say that.
It's got a New Orleans feel.
Yeah, it's got a
Who'd you go to Southern Crescent with?
just a friend.
Was this a date?
Maybe.
Judah Wickower on a hot date. I like it. Was it a good date?
Yeah,
Will there be a second date?
I think there will be.
There will be a second date.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Fantastic, dude. What did you? I won't get more personal. I'll leave it at that. What did you order?
Got a Sazerac. Couple Sazeracs.
What's a Sazerac?
Sazerac is its claim to fame is that it may be the first cocktail.
The Sazerac is the first cocktail. I didn't know that.
Quite possibly.
What's in the Sazerac?
Let me bring it up.
Judah Wickower on a hot date at Southern Crescent.
Sazerac's got whiskey or cognac. It originally calls for absinthe, sugar, and bitters. I'm fairly certain most places don't use absinthe in it these days.
And you guys sat on the back patio?
Yeah, they had some of those tall heaters going, and they had a little like a fire pit heater with some couches and comfortable chairs around it. It was nice. A little bit chilly, but they also have baskets full of blankets, so it was great. I loved it.
My better half says Columbus Day is a forgotten holiday.
Oh, definitely, or very maligned at least.
After Southern Crescent, where'd you guys walk around Belmont?
No, we called it a night. We pretty much closed down Southern Crescent.
Nice, dude. I like that. I like that a lot. We went, our oldest son and I went to Selvage Brewery. We did a little divide and conquer. My wife was with our youngest, and then our oldest and I went to a basketball game on Friday. And
Nice.
before that, we stopped for a hot dog and a cheeseburger and a basket of fries at Selvage Brewery on Ivy Road, across from the Boar's Head in the old Grit Coffee Roastery place.
And
I
that
would
just
very-
opened when?
this month. I would very much suggest you do that, or as a suggestion, if whoever you're dating is into craft beer, that place is fantastic. It's large. They got fantastic TVs for viewing sports. The menu is identical to what they had at the Wool Factory. I was very impressed with their execution on Ivy Road for Selvage Brewery.
Nice.
I think it's going to have a lot of success there, and I think they have a captive audience, not much competition, and the customer base on Ivy Road and the surrounding neighborhoods is one of very deep pockets.
Yeah.
We tried to go there the next day, because my missus was rather frustrated that I didn't enjoy the first time of going there with her. So we tried to go there the next day, and it was packed following the UVA basketball game. So, Salvage Brewery, job well done on Ivy Road. I think they've done some excellent work there. We want to remind the viewers and listeners that Brad Wilcox is going to be on the show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
He's the UVA professor who has a boatload of research on the pros and cons of marriage, including a book that's recently been published. He's on a book tour, and he's going to join us on the show. You'll have some questions for Professor Wilcox. I'm excited to ask him some questions. He's in studio on Wednesday on the I Love CVille show. Virginia and Virginia Tech, we highlighted for you already. That game tips off tonight. 4.5-point favorites, the Hokies, not UVA. Who do you got winning that game? Are we putting a bet down?
No, we're not putting a bet down.
You got the Hokies or the Who's?
I'll take the Who's.
I'll take the Who's too. I like your style. Jerry and Jerry show tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. We're going to break down this matchup with UVA and Virginia Tech and talk UVA's chances of making the big dance, which I do not think they are guaranteed, nor do I think it's a slam dunk that the Who's are dancing in March. Time will tell as we head to the home stretch, the final handful of games of the regular season for UVA. Any closing thoughts for you?
Stop disrespecting our presidents. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody that's got the day off, enjoy it.
Who has the day off?
We've already talked about this. There are plenty of people that have the day off.
You always make me feel guilty.
Sorry.
It's bankers and postal workers.
And some teachers and other places that offer the federal holidays off. I mean, it's not...
We get federal holidays off, just not the afterthought ones, like this one.
Okay.
We get the primary federal holidays off, paid, along with paid vacation. Always making me feel guilty.
I'm not trying to. I'm just was trying to wish the people that do have the day off an enjoyable day.
Enjoy your President's Day.
Yeah.
Salute the presidents.
Right.
The birthdays of the presidents. Those that are working today, which is 90% of America, if not more, realize you're not alone, and the majority of us, large majority of us, are working until about 6 o'clock tonight, if not later.
It looked like Bagby's was closed today.
I had some interesting stuff coming out about Bagby's, but it's not my announcement to make. But they got some stuff cooking, literally and figuratively.
Nice.
All right, that's the Monday edition of the I Love CVille show. The Jerry and Jerry show tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with Jerry Hootie Ratcliffe, the Virginia Sports Hall of Famer, to break down tonight's Virginia and Virginia Tech matchup. Join us at 10:15 a.m. tomorrow, guys. Thank you for joining us, and so long.